When Drip Drops launched the token distribution platform, I saw this token on there. I thought, hey, another meme coin, why not? Let's add some more to the collection. But the team reached out to me and said, hey, we're doing a little bit more than just being a meme coin. We've got some interesting plans for integrating real life payments as well as metaverse integration as well. And this is StripperCoin. Cardano Slim joins me on the podcast episode to talk all about the project, what they're trying to achieve, the community they're building around this as well, and some of the really interesting integrations that they have planned and the future of the coin itself and the ecosystem around it. Let's get into this interview.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast.
I have an interview here with Cardano Slim about an interesting coin that I noticed on Drip Drops. It's called StripperCoin. Slim, welcome to the podcast.
Yes, thank you, Pete. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, so a lot of people have been asking what on earth is this stripper coin that's appearing, and a lot of people are minting it and pulling it through to their wallets as well. What are you doing with this coin? Is it a meme coin? Is it a project? What exactly is it? Tell us the whole story.
Sure. So the whole story kind of starts back in April of 2021. I minted StripperCoin as a joke. It started in the IT office. We were kind of talking about the absurdities in crypto. I think Doge was really taking off at that time.
Oh yeah, I remember
a lot of the other meme coins. So we were like, wouldn't it be absurd to have a coin just for strippers? And we kind of crystallized on the name, and we're like, that's kind of funny. So at lunchtime, I went home. I was talking with my wife, and she was like, I could actually see that being something that's used, and even if it's not, it's funny. It can probably catch on. And Elon Musk is famously quoted as saying that the most entertaining outcome is the most likely one. So we're like, hey, why not? Let's see what happens here. So
yeah,
we started up a faucet. We applied the Drip Drops, and we got in on their first round, which was really cool. That gave us a lot of exposure, brought a lot of people into the project. And now that it's kind of gaining some traction, I feel, I have a background in IT. I know the pieces that need to be fit into place to make this an actual reality. So since people, gave money for the tokens, why wouldn't I try to build something out into this? So we've got plans now for like metaverse franchising, strip clubs. We've got music that's coming into it, because music is a big part of the strip club, right? DJs get paid as the girls dance, etc.
Yeah.
Now we're kind of aiming to be a classy brand for the metaverse. We don't want to be into the the nasty porn stuff. More private shows, private parties, but we see first partnering with strip clubs to get there. Eventually, we would like to go towards more of like an OnlyFans model, where a girl could dance or perform a private show in person through an app or through a metaverse portal. All those things, of course, are going to come in, fit into place as the metaverses are built. I don't want to lean too hard on that at the beginning, because I don't know what that's going to be like eventually. But we've got big plans, so I figure, why not do something with it?
Okay, all right. So I'm just trying to imagine what the project will look like in the future, and I'm just seeing your background at the moment, and it's kind of like a VR virtual space in a club there. Is that the type of environment that you're trying to create for these virtual strip clubs?
In the end, the main plan is we need a value add to bring in these clubs. And that's kind of how we're looking to bring in girls into this as well, is partnering with clubs, and these clubs know the girls, and we can bring them in. Maybe their top paid girls can get an NFT series as well. So there's multiple layers to this. The metaverse is one, where people could walk into a metaverse club, and I've actually already got it designed. I have the actual metaverse club. I don't have it up on the computer. I should have had that ready to show, but where people walk into that, and they're able to actually go step into a real live club anywhere in the world. That's one of our partners. So for instance, if a club in Detroit who has been hurt by the pandemic restrictions over the past 2 years, they're looking for new revenue models, they can now open up their club to a worldwide audience. And not only that, but they can then also sell NFTs that either act as coupons to get people free entry, to get people discounts on drinks that are physically there, or to get people extras that are there through the Metaverse portal. So that's kind of the overall vision, is bringing in these clubs, having a Metaverse portal that people can then access these clubs as well as individual performers, and give these clubs a new revenue model to access people all around the world.
That's really cool. I didn't think about the impact that COVID lockdowns have had with a lot of these businesses. Of course, it's obvious when you think about it, but when you've been speaking to some of these clubs, have they voiced how it could potentially help them? Like, do they actually see it and go, yes, we can actually use this and it's very useful for us because of that extra revenue model? Can they see it working themselves?
So I'm not sure if the interest that these clubs are showing, because every club we've talked to has shown a lot of interest. They want to get it in. I don't know if that interest revolves around it being crypto or if they actually need the app. Yeah. So I'm willing to ride the crypto popularity wave and see where it goes. I mean, this could be fluid. We get it in as a payment app, and it becomes an app to help the clubs actually manage their private rooms. Because that is one of the things that we've been speaking with them about, is right now most clubs have like a person that writes down on a timesheet how long somebody's in a room, how much they paid. And if we can integrate that into the app as like a little management portal, we're thinking that could be another value add that then, it's not just a crypto payment app. So that's kind of what we're thinking, to give them more utility and more value add than just the crypto piece. That way the crypto piece is great and hot, but we give them a little bit more than just like crypto payments. Now, there has been a club out in Las Vegas, I believe it is, that just implemented Bitcoin payments over the past month. And there's been a lot of buzz generated around that. So I think of these clubs that we've talked to has seen that, and they want to hop on that train.
Gotcha. Okay. So there's definitely some interest right in the crypto wave as well, and obviously the Metaverse wave as well. So it's a couple of opportunities and a lot of interest there in that respect. So in terms of the timeline and roadmap of what you're going to deliver and build out for these clubs, what does that look like? Well, what's stage one for, the very first club that you are on board, and what you're going to deliver for them?
Well, my roadmap depends a lot on the Metaverse. So I kind of have like two concurrent roadmaps running in my head. One is Metaverse, and as long as everything goes, smoothly with Metaverse rollouts, we'll be good there. But I don't want to pin my success on the Metaverse because we don't know what that's going to be. And then my other roadmap is more of the app development in the physical real world, enabling payments. So the timeline that we're looking at, we're much further ahead than I expected, actually. I didn't think we'd be working on a website and an app until maybe the end of the year. But we're already working on that. I've got a full stack web developer I'm working with. And I've got my crypto developer on the back end. So we're really rolling pretty quickly on that. I've got the Metaverse club already designed. I just need to discuss with companies like Pavia and stuff on textures and how to actually get it into their Metaverse. It was designed with like Decentraland specs, since they're kind of one of the pinnacles. We figured we would aim for that, and then we could alter once new specs came out. So the timeline, we're a lot further ahead than we expected. We will be releasing some 3D spinning box strippers here within the next month. And that's one of the roadmap things on the timeline. So us being a lot further ahead, I think we're going to see this stuff before the end of the year. Cool.
Right. And I like that integration with the Pavia universe as well. So it's building some of the assets, and I'm assuming you may deploy a club into their world or something like that. Is that what you're thinking?
That's the hope, as long as they allow that kind of thing. We don't want to, like ruin neighborhoods here. We want to fit in with the community and stuff. So that is the idea. Yeah. And we aimed for Pavia because we're huge Cardano fans. And their model seemed to really want to connect the real world with the metaverse, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. So that's kind of why we staked our flag there. But StripperCoin, we do own land in like 4 different metaverses. We're spreading ourselves across.
Okay. Right. Interesting. All right. The metaverse is going to be a very interesting play, and we're going to see what happens with that. I also like the development down the physical world and actually integrating it into clubs as well. And little things such as like selling the NFTs or having that available so that you can, it's essentially like selling merchandise, isn't it?
Yeah. Merchant. I mean, you can, since they're NFTs, you can do so many different things with it. So merchandise, coupons, free entry, all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, very, very flexible. And with the low cost of minting some of these NFTs, coupons are very, very useful within that space. So it's a really good play. And it's good that you have the team behind you as well. Can you talk a little bit more about the team and if you need any more developers on board, or are you looking for anyone else? You said you have your front-end developer and your full-stack developer and crypto developer. Is that right?
Yeah. So obviously the team is myself, and then I've got a crypto developer. He runs the Tails stake pool, and he's pretty well known in the NFT community. He runs a lot of the crypto development on the back end of a lot of different projects. Him and I have been working together now for about a year. We started right at the beginning of the NFT hype on Cardano, working together, so we know each other pretty well. My full stack developer is a friend that I've known for quite some time now. He's a gentleman from India, but he lives in the United States here. And I don't know that he wants me to say his name. I really haven't,
That's cool.
Asked him about that. And then I also have a community manager. He is from Nepal, and he goes by the name Venom. You can find him in our Discord. He's there almost all the time talking to people, and he's really cool. He's very helpful too.
Brilliant. Okay. So in terms of the actual token itself, how does that come into play with the entire system that you're setting up? Would I be able to use the token within the metaverse? Do I use it within a club? How does the token come into play with it all? Well,
since Cardano isn't fully built out, we're still we do plan on having that be a method of payment. But until Babel fees and Hydra heads are implemented, I don't think it's realistic for us to be able to implement that as an actual payment, because you don't want to have to tell people you have to send ADA and StripperCoin to pay a girl. And also you want to have a Hydra head over there to kind of settle this stuff quickly, rather than waiting for the chain to react, during slow periods. So those are pieces that we feel like we need in place before we make it, before you actually pay a girl with a StripperCoin. Now, yeah, we could do it sooner, and maybe we will. It's just something that, as an IT guy, I feel like we need to do this right. We need those things in place. Otherwise, it's not going to be right. So I'm hoping over the next year here. I don't know when they have the Babel fees scheduled to be implemented, but I do think that the Hydra heads are going to be being implemented here this next year, right?
Yeah, mid this year is the timeline. We'll see the first iteration of Hydra. So we'll see what happens in that respect.
Yeah. So to answer your question, even more completely, we think the app, the first iteration, is not probably going to have a crypto payment option. We're not fully sure on that yet. It really depends on where we're at when we get to that place. But that is the end goal when we actually release it to the public, because we're going to have to go through some beta, iterations with like 1 or 2 clubs testing things before we really release it.
Yeah, I can't see it working without Hydra. Could you imagine walking into a club and paying and doing a transfer and hang on, wait, confirmation's still going.
Exactly.
Actually the transaction failed. It hasn't gone through. You have to go and wait another hour or something, or whatever it is. So that's just not going to happen. And are there any legal aspects that you need to look at in regards to this? Because it does sound like you're in the United States, obviously, and you've got all these weird crypto regulations coming into play over there. So what do you guys need to look at in regards to getting this on board and actually happening?
Yeah, that is one of the things we are going to have to look into is the legal ramifications for the women that receive it. What are their taxable obligations and things like that? Because it is going to change probably from the time we start to roll this out to the time that they finalize all these rules. So that's a lot of that's up in the air. I do have a lawyer that I speak with about this stuff, so that is something I'll have to ask them. We haven't really gotten there yet in these discussions. It's been more setting the company up and getting everything rolling and the plan out there. But that is something that we'll have to look into.
Yeah, for example, here in Australia, the legal premise is that we treat crypto assets as similar to property. So anytime we sell or exchange it, we have to pay the capital gains tax on it. It makes it easy because everything's just treated the same way, but there's a lot of tax as you go through. So every little bit of exchange, if you're paying someone in crypto, capital gains tax. So it's a little bit nasty in regards to that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same here too. So that is something that we'll have to look at. And I don't know if we can work out deals, if they're dancing at a club where something happens there. One of the things we do want to do is get the girls to like actually save the crypto, hold on to it rather than have it go right back out. So that's something that we would like to do. And I don't know if that'll fit into the legal premise or not, but I know if you hold it for a decent amount of time, some of those taxes do go away, but we don't want to have them hold it for a year. Yeah,
that's right. Okay. So in regards, we've spoken about the clubs, we've spoken about the app and the management of the things. Have you spoken to the dancers themselves? Do you know how they react? Are they into the crypto space at all? And we're mentioning women, but of course there's also male dancers as well. Have you spoken to any of them and worked out how they would react to accepting crypto?
Well, we do have one or two of them in our Discord. I believe one's an actual male dancer. The female dancers that I have spoken with, they don't seem to fully understand crypto, let alone Cardano, and then layer StripperCoin on top of that. It's a big hurdle to overcome. I think though it's just talking to more girls. The more you meet, one out of those 10 or whatever have to know a little bit about crypto. So I think once it's more established in the psyche of people that, oh, it's not a pyramid scheme, oh, it's not, a scam, people will be more interested in it, and especially the girls. But right now, I don't think unless you're into the crypto world, it's kind of like, what?
Yeah, because
that's the reaction I've gotten.
Yeah, and I guess from the dancer's point of view as well, it's also you got to sell it to them because they'll be accepting the currency in regards to it, and some may just want to be able to pay the bills and put food on the table, etc., etc. So putting that extra layer or barrier in regards to earning their income just makes it a little bit harder as well. So you really got to get them on board and understanding exactly what you're trying to achieve here and what the benefit is for them.
Yeah.
So in regards to the community that you're building up around the coin, anything that you build in the crypto space, community is key. That if you don't have the community behind the coin, behind the project, whatever you're building, the project usually falls apart. How are you building up the community for this?
We're using Discord to build up our community. And right now we actually have a good amount of Greeks in the community. There's a pool that seems to be really following us and supporting us called Sapio Pool. So I definitely want to give them a shout out. And they've helped a lot in bringing in more community members. So building up a community around this really is giving them some benefits, giving out NFTs, selling them NFTs that can later be used for other things. So that's really the plan, is all these people who are supporting the project hopefully later have something useful that they can then redeem or, cash in the metaverse or in real life if they go to one of our partnered strip clubs. So that's part of the community building. But to mention engaging the community, we are looking at 2 or 3 stake pools right now to actually hand out stripper coins through. The only reason that we have not started that yet is because we're waiting to do a token swap with drip drops. Since we were minted so early on, we do not have decimal places in the StripperCoin token. So in order to make it more accessible to people, easier to trade, we're adding 3 decimals. We've got the token minted. It's registered, the new one minted. It's registered in the Cardano token registry. We're just waiting for like some KYC stuff from Drip Drops.
Gotcha. Okay. We're in the same process. We minted via Metro Mermaids through their process. So Freddie and all that minted our token as well. And like you, we minted very early and we don't have any decimal places. So we have to go through that whole process of reissuing and getting our token redone in the back end.
I just want to say, isn't Metro Mermaids and Freddie and them awesome to work with?
Yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic. Like in terms of community and being able to engage with them and being educated on what is possible and providing their service as well. They've been an absolutely fantastic contributor to the Cardano ecosystem, that's for sure. Okay, so in terms of like difficulties and stuff, in terms of rolling this out, of what you've done already, what hurdles have you come across, and what do you suspect being difficulties in the future coming up?
Well, the token swap is probably one of the biggest hurdles so far.
Yeah, okay.
Just waiting for that and kind of informing people on just hold on, we've got this coming. I think some of the biggest hurdles we are going to have to face is actually plugging in the crypto payment piece to the app. I think that's going to be a big hurdle because, like we were discussing earlier, we've got to have Hydra heads in place. We've got to have Babel fees there, and the network could change quite a bit from there, how things work. So there's going to be a lot of learning that has to go into place, and that's going to be a pretty big challenge. One of the other things is how the metaverse comes together, because we have no clue what that's going to look like, how it's going to function. I mean, we have a basic idea, but you don't know what's really, are they going to allow strip clubs? Who knows? Yeah. So that could very well easily be our biggest hurdle, is people not wanting a club in their neighborhood.
And the entire project is like, if you take out the stripper component, you could see the other projects doing very, very similar things. Like one, trying to integrate into a metaverse. So they're trying to build a project that integrates into metaverse, building it to Pavia, and then two, having some sort of payment system and using their own token in there as well. So I think your whole project overall is probably solving very similar issues and doing the same things as what other projects are trying to do. So the difference is that you're building in the adult entertainment side of things. I think that's the big difference. But overall, the solution that you're building is probably something else, probably something that other people would be wanting as well. Have you thought about providing that as a white label service and providing it for other projects as well? It's probably something that Metro Mermaids might be interested in too.
I haven't put too much thought into that aspect of it, as providing it as a white label service. I think once we have it built out and we can see how it's functioning, that might be something that we think about. Now, I'm sure, with Freddie and Metro Mermaids, having like a payment settlement layer and a Hydra head on the back end is probably exactly what they want to do and offer as a service for them. And then I could see myself using that. But I don't know about the white labeling for the app that we're building yet.
Definitely some interesting developments and interesting little bits and pieces that we're building out. So in terms of the listeners and the audience finding out more about the project, where do we go? How do we engage the community? And how would we contact you?
Well, if you want to contact me, you can find me on Twitter. I am at Cardano Slim. I actually just changed it the other day. You can also find us StripperCoin on Twitter at StripperCoin. We've also got a website, strippercoin.io, where you can check out the project and what's going on. I'll be adding actually some more details on the app and our upcoming NFT series there very soon as well. Cool.
I'm looking forward to seeing what you come up with the NFT series, and good luck with the project overall.
Yes. Thank you very much, Pete.
So what do you think? Leave a comment down below. If you want to find out more about the project, all the links, etc. are in the show notes and description, where you can find out more about the token, how they're going to integrate it with the various platforms, and also their token swap as well. They have gone ahead and done the conversion from version 1 all the way to version 2 now. So if you haven't converted and you do have some of these coins, please go ahead and convert the tokens. You can check it out, all the details on their website itself. Follow the roadmap, and a big shout out to Metro Mermaid Stake Pool as well. Freddy Alicious and Mermaida, they provide an absolutely fantastic service for anyone in the NFT industry on Cardano. So anything around sea NFTs. That's it for me for this episode. If you really like this type of content, please give me that thumbs up, click subscribe, and click on the notification bell, and you hear more from me real soon.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.